Hey everybody, I'm Cole, a developer advocate in Mage, and I just wanted to pick up where we kind of left off in the most previous DBT migration video, and that's when we were able to run DBT debug and DBT dependencies to go ahead and test our connection to DBT and our data warehouse that we're writing data to, and to make sure that we've loaded our dependencies. Now I want to go ahead and get a pipeline up and running, so we will connect a DBT block to a Mage Pro data loader and write data to BigQuery. So right now we are on the Mage Pro homepage, and what we'll want to do is navigate to our pipelines. We'll go ahead and hover over this left-hand navigation menu, hit the pipelines button, and we'll be taken to our list of pipelines. You're really just seeing a very fresh workspace that I've been working in, and so it only has the example pipeline loaded. If we want to create a new pipeline, we go ahead and hit this new pipeline button, where we'll be taken to a screen. We'll start from scratch, and then we will give our data pipeline a name. We'll be using a batch data pipeline today, and we'll give it the name DBT YouTube Demo. And we'll go ahead and create this new pipeline. So once you've created your new pipeline, you'll come into the pipeline editor page, and you'll be asked to create a new block. If we were going to create a new block, we would click this block button, hover over our data loader, and select from an assortment of templates that Mage Pro has set for you. For sake of time, I've already created a data loader block, so let's go ahead and demonstrate Mage Pro's drag and drop feature. So we're just going to take this Chicago Crimes API data loader, and we're going to drag it into our editor here. So you can see that I have some Python code. I'm getting data from the Chicago Crimes API. I've also added a secret here in the code, Chicago Data API key. So if we want to look at the different secrets that I've created, we have some Google private key data. Sorry, not data, but private keys, and also a private API key for the Chicago data portal. So you can see I'm just fetching some data from the Chicago Crimes or Chicago data portal. We're doing some data cleaning within this data loader, and we're also running some tests to make sure that that this run is meeting our criteria. So we're just going to go ahead and run this code, and you can see that we get a lot of different rows here, but we get a row ID, case number, arrest date. You can see that Chicago actually they kind of mask the exact address where crimes take place just by adding this XX at the end of each block. Now that we can see that our data has been pulled in, let's go ahead and we'll collapse down our data loader, and then so now we will want to add our DBT block to Mage Pro. We'll go ahead and hover over this blocks button here, click it, and scroll down to DBT. We will select model or snapshot from file, so click this, and then we're going to want to add our bronze Chicago crimes.sql file to our pipeline. So we'll go ahead and hit this add to pipelines button, and it's now in our pipeline editor. One thing we will need to do is we will need to connect we'll need to connect our DBT block to our data loader. So we'll go ahead and just drag our connector here, and now we are connected to the DBT block is connected to our data loader. So now that we've connected our DBT block to our data loader block, it creates what's called the mageSources.yml file. We'll go ahead and actually refresh this just so that we can refresh our repo. I'll go ahead and expand back out this our file repo here, and if we scroll down to follow our DBT, we can see that this mageSources.yml file was created. And what's important about this mageSources.yml file is we're going to need to replace the source connections from our DBT block. So the first source connection is actually going to be the name of our source here. So it's going to be this Mage Chicagoland crime data. So we're just going to copy this, Control C, and we're going to paste it into our first source here. We're actually going to use single quotes. So we'll use single quotes and then paste this in, and we'll go back. And we're going to get the second name, this DBT YouTube demo Chicago Crimes API loader. So we'll go ahead and copy the second name here, and we're going to paste it into the second part of our source. We're also going to use single quotes for this. All right. Now that we've got our source connection configured, let's go ahead and head back over to our editor, and we are going to open up our DBT project.yml file just to check it. We may want to make some changes here. If you remember from the first video, we did make this name change to match our project name, and the profile change as well to match that. Another change we may want to make, although it seems okay right now, we may have wanted to change the seed schema. I think it's okay as crimes, but anytime you can actually connect the DBT block to a Mage block, it's going to create a seed in your data warehouse, or a seed table in your data warehouse. Okay, since we don't need to make any more changes in our DBT project file, let's go ahead and head back to our pipeline editor. We did make some changes, so we'll save them. And we are just going to run this and see the build. We'll go ahead and click the preview button, and you'll see it start to run in a second. It usually takes about, the initial run usually takes about 20-ish seconds to go ahead and run. I guess while we're waiting, we can kind of talk about the code. We simply are, writing some CTEs here. We're just fetching the data from the upstream block, adding a couple surrogate keys using the DBT utilities dependencies, and then also we're giving it a load, like a loading date. Let's go ahead and drop this down here, and you can see that the file ran. It's looking like we just have a couple. It's just letting me know that there's some there are some downstream configurations in my DBT project file, but nothing of note here. So once we see that the build has worked, we can go ahead and check out our BigQuery, and I believe we should have written to our seed table to this crimes database. Oh, let's go ahead and refresh our contents, and you can see that it wrote to this crimes_crimes data set, and you're going to see something like this. You're going to see the initial name, I believe, that we gave this. So it's coming from Mage. Obviously, this is the name of the pipeline that we're working in, this DBT YouTube demo, and then this Chicago Crimes API data loader is the name of the data loader block. The next part of our project will be actually writing the DBT model to our BigQuery as well. Right now, we only have we've only written the seed table to the crimes data set. So let's go ahead and head back to Mage, and we are going to open up our terminal. So we'll expand out the tree here, but we'll also hover over this right-hand navigation menu, and we'll click the terminal button here. So now that we're here in our terminal, I can go ahead and run the DBT run command, and we're going to select specifically our bronze Chicago crimes table. So let's go ahead and run this, and you can see that it's currently running and that we are creating our view and that it completed successfully. So let's go ahead and go back over to BigQuery. We should be able to see this new data set now. I think it's going to be here in Crimes Bronze, and it is. So let's go ahead and we will write a quick query from here. We're just going to, let's get rid of this. We're just going to say count star, and we'll just remove this, and we'll run. Where did I? Oh, accidentally added the wrong thing there. Let's go ahead and run this. And you can see that we have 10,000 rows in our DBT, in our BigQuery view. Let's go ahead and minimize this now. So this really completes the total migration process of moving data from, moving your DBT files from your GitHub account into Mage Pro, successfully connecting it to a Mage data loader block, and then making minimal changes in your DBT configuration files, and then writing that data to BigQuery. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. We'll be having more videos on our DBT integration in Mage Pro. Thanks. Have a great day.